Hello and welcome to this video review from Backwards Compatible. Today we're going to be covering the newly released, news in a couple of weeks old, World of Warplanes. It's a free to play MMO from the same company that brought you World of Tanks, and is soon to be bringing you a World of Battleships as well. So quite a nice mixture of World War II fun there. Now, obviously, as the name suggests, this is all just about warplanes and obviously World War II planes. The idea being is that there's only at the moment one game type. It's called Standard Battle. The idea of Standard Battle is twofold. One is to destroy the enemy aircraft. Obviously it's one of those things where you destroy the enemy aircraft, you win the game. But then there's also a secondary one, which is a secondary objective, which is to destroy all the land targets. Now obviously I say land targets, I'm at sea on this map, so that's a bit of a lie because these are land targets. But the idea is that you have different objectives to play for, and that gives the game quite a lot in my opinion. Gives the game quite a deal of variety. I'm not the greatest flyer, as that completely demonstrated. I didn't mean that on purpose, but it worked out quite well. But the wonderful thing is that you can be either an expert flyer or a basic person, and you can always find a place here, which I quite like. Now I tend to use the attack aircraft, which is the one you just saw. Attack aircraft are basically bombers, and mine are all Russian at the moment. As you can see, we've got everything from biplanes, like this one, lovely old one here, to the more modern style propellered. I say modern style. You can also get jets in this game, but they're at a very high level, which I have not yet attained, and I'm not too sure I will, but I will try to endeavour as high as I can. The next one up are heavy fighters. Now my heavy fighter is German, as you can see. The idea of these is they have not as many hit points as the attack aircraft, but they are more manoeuvrable, and they have a lot more firepower. And then this is the trio of plane types is rounded off by having your fighters. Now your fighters you'll tend to find the most of. Low hit points, low manoeuvrability, low airspeed, but this is for a basic one. But as we go upwards towards my favourite World War II plane, which is the Supermarine Spitfire, we're looking there at a lot more manoeuvrability and a lot more airspeed and more firepower. So obviously as the standards of the planes go up, you can either get improved weapons, improved speed and improved manoeuvrability. But the reason that I love the attack aircraft, again as I said, is it gives me a chance to be useful to my team, because I'm not the greatest flyer. So we'll look at the basics here. This is the loading screen, the lobby. The great thing is that you can see how many planes are going to be in the battle and everything else that's going on. It's very fast to find. I haven't found a problem in finding matches yet. I also haven't found, there are some reported glitches of the game just not loading or the game crashing. I haven't actually noticed any myself, but obviously it's one of those things where I am quite unlucky. Maybe it's because I've got quite a high ping, maybe it's internet connection, I'm not sure, but I haven't had the game freeze or break out yet. Now, the game runs at quite a nice 120-ish frames per second, so it's got quite nice views. Now, the last map, as you can see, was a naval map. This is a complete land-based map. Lots of nice textures in terms of the clouds and also the mountain ranges that you can see. So it really does look good, especially for a free-to-play game. So I wouldn't say that to avoid this game on looks at all. Again, it's not as good as maybe as some of the other paid games, but I've bought games which cost money, which don't look as good as this. So I am quite impressed with the way that the game, that Wargaming have done. I am running on quite a high medium-ish spec computer, and I also have got a quite good internet connection. Now obviously as this is an online MMO, if your internet connection is dodgy, is this the game for you? Truthfully probably not, but I don't have this problem. Obviously it's something that you'll have to decide yourself whether whether a game like this is for yourself or not. But as I say, I think for me it's just fun. I will play with a fighter in a minute just to show you how poor I am, even though I have got quite a nice fighter. But the sound effects, as you can hear from the sound effects, as you can just hear from the guns, are lovely. Also the planes, the fact that you have all the you have those wonderful propeller sounds, and again, it's quite, the game brings you in quite nicely. There is a music soundtrack, to be honest. It's not that great. I would prefer to actually have my own music on, no music at all, to be honest. Problem with attacking buns is that I always seem to do that, clip the wing. But see, again, the thing is, there I did achieve points to my team. Unfortunately, again, I did lose my life, which then does hurt my team. It's something that you always have to decide with how you're going to play. Obviously, the attack aircraft's job is to take out land targets. That's how you win in terms of the standard battle in one sense. Obviously, the other option for the standard battle, we'll actually go back just to show you what other people are doing, is to take out the enemy aircraft. Now, the enemy aircraft, if you take out all the enemy aircraft, or you lose all of yours, you will end the game. But obviously that's one side, and then the second side obviously is if you destroy it all. If you destroy enough planes and enough land targets and get your team points up to 30, then that means you can win as well. So it gives you a dual type of objective. That does mean that both types of all types of planes are viable. You will find, unfortunately, which I do, is that a lot of people won't cover attack planes. They'll just fly off as fighters and just try to destroy things. Again, it's quite fun. Obviously, there is that team aspect, but you're also looking to rank up and get as many points as humanly possible. But obviously, for objectives, you really do want to start to work together as a team and try to take out the opposition as much as possible. Taking out land targets really does help you. If you knock out a radar, it will reduce your visibility to the enemy. If you destroy the enemy's base, then they don't have the ability to. Their AA guns, anti-aircraft guns, lose quite a lot of lose quite a lot of precision, so that makes that game quite good. As you can see by this gentleman I'm following, he's a pretty tasty pilot. He's using the heavy fighter, and he's doing very, very well. The fact that it shows that extra movability where he was able to avoid and dodge and then come back, and because he has got such beastly cannons, he's able to take out that fighter with quite relative ease. You don't generally find that you destroy planes on one run, to be truthful, unless you're extremely skilled. You tend to need to take them down on a few. It does feel like a dogfight, and I think that makes this game just feel, again, realism's always a word which I don't like, but it makes the game feel gritty, and it makes the game feel like you really, you've got a chance always to win, and obviously always a chance to lose, which gives that game that lovely bit of tension, which is quite nice. You will find that there are rammers. Rammers will take you out. You both lose your life, so it's not like they can ram you and carry on flying, which I quite like. Ramming has its consequences, but you will find that people, especially when they're just about to die, will try as hard as they can to ram you. So that's always quite good. Also, the game, I'm not sure if it's completely always set to it, but you can hit your own team. So team kills are definitely something that you have to avoid, but it's definitely something that can be done in this game. So please be careful as you're playing. In terms of controls, I use a mouse and a keyboard, or a keypad. You can also use a joystick, you can use a gamepad, or you can just use a keyboard. And again, the accessibility of this game is something that I really can't state enough. It does give you a chance, no matter what your play style, to really have a chance to play. So that again shows it's quite good. If you know anything about World of Tanks, the game received I think 10 updates since it's first come out, and that gives you an idea about the type of support that this team, that the team at Wargaming give to their games. If World of Warplanes receives the same kind of support, I can really see this game being going places. From the sorry, excuse me. I'll just jump out of this because it's getting a little bit tedious with them chasing each other. So if they can add more, like they did in World of Tanks, they did in more countries and more tanks, so you can buy more and have more fun. That's great. And again, anything to improve the chance of you flying in different ways and learning your best or worst traits is always great. So as I said, I'm going to quickly jump into a fighter. I'm going to jump into one of my Spitfires, just to show a different style of play. So we jump straight into the Spitfire. And as you can see there, 74 fighters, 7 heavy fighters and 2 attack aircraft. So it shows you that fighters are the predominant force in this game, and that's kind of almost true with a lot of the air forces. You know, you would have 5 fighters to 1 bomber just so they could protect it. But it does mean that most people always limit looking at that sort of team deathmatch aspect. You know, destroy as many opposition as you can, as opposed to looking at objectives as well. I do find that it's always quicker to get into games with heavy aircraft, but even then we're waiting in the lobby for like 30 seconds, and then we're finding games all the time. I'm playing in the morning, and that may be the reason why. And obviously, as we said, this isn't very early type of the game. So as you can see, another great looking map, and the Spitfire just looks wonderful. I do wish they had the ability to take screenshots, but it's not something that, maybe they do, but I haven't figured that one out yet. I have to read the instruction manual. But it just looks so nice to see the plane in all its glory, and the landscapes and everything. So I think I've beat it on about the visuals a bit too much, but that's quite good. So in terms of scores, you know, this game is looking at about 4.5, about 4. It's not perfect. I can see the fact that it really does need a bit more in terms of different types of gameplay, just to give it a little bit more fun to play. Because I'm not sure. I don't want to say it will become boring, but I have a feeling that after a while it will become quite repetitive, because you're always playing the same way. Now, with the attack aircraft, I always go low. When it comes to fighters, the idea is to come high. The Spitfire was made to come straight out of the skies, to come straight from the still warning because we're coming through. It's absolutely destroyed straight away, so that just shows you how bad I am with those. I apologise for that, but again, it just shows the fact that that's how much damage the fighters can take. You know, one run and I was out. So my earlier statement about usually last 2 was completely untrue. But actually, that's quite a nice visual of being blown up and destroyed. So sorry, I'll show you that. So as I say, overall, I'm really enjoying this game. I think it's something that most people get a hang with, whether you're a great flyer or not. And I would say that trying to play it is a good thing. Do you need to spend money? Yes and no. Some of the premium planes will give you that little bit more ability to do some things, and you will find that you do have some people coming in at level 6s and level 5s who will absolutely dominate you. In saying that, the early planes, stick with them, because they will teach you how to play. The biplanes do give you extra manoeuvrability and do make you learn the controls quite nicely. So what I'd say is, don't bother spending money straight away. Look at how the game's played, learn with your biplanes, and then start. Don't go out straight away and spend any money on a Spitfire, because you just will not be able to control it, unless of course you are an expert flyer. Apart from that, all I can say is I hope you enjoyed the review. We'll be putting some gameplay videos up, and also a few little streaming events, because I think this will be a game that I will be jumping in with quite a lot. So thank you very much for listening, and it was nice to meet you, and take care, and please check out the site, and if you like the video, please give it a like. Take care, thank you, bye.